The door has shut on the New Jersey Devils this season, but what a year it was. They set a franchise record in both wins and points. Jack Hughes set a franchise record with 99 points, and of course they beat their ultimate rivals, the Rangers, in the first round for their first playoff series win in 11 years. As the Devils cleaned out their lockers on this Saturday, Lindy Ruff shared his view on the season.
Very proud of where things went, where we started. The goals we set, we felt we still could have been in the fight, but you got to get through that. And these guys gave me everything they had. Game 5, they gave me everything they had. We just didn't convert.
There was conversations, like if you can't help the team, then they don't want you in there. But I felt like I was ready to go, and obviously Lindy and Fitzy were good with that. So that's how that decision was made. I mean, at the end of the day, you're a competitor too. You don't want to be in the press box with the season on the line. So I know I'd have a pit in my stomach if I was in the press box for that game. I'm not the GM by any means, so it's not up to me. But, I think I know they want to come back. I know you got to get it done, too. You can't just talk about wanting to be in New Jersey. If you want to be in New Jersey, you got to just sign the deal, So those guys are obviously big parts of our team, and we'd like to have them back.
It's, it's fresh after our loss, and you just kind of, want to take a couple days, and obviously it's not a great feeling being out, but there's some conversations that are going to be, and decide the future. So yeah, that's going to be a topic this summer for sure. But as of now, it's kind of, this team definitely we're heading in the right direction, and if you look at the progress from last year, it was a quick turnaround, and it just kind of shows the skill and the talent of this group.
And that's coming from a guy who's only been with this group for, 2 months or so? And that is kind of one of the big questions going forward, is whether or not Timo Meier will indeed stay with New Jersey. You see the number of guys who are either RFAs or UFAs in just about a month's time. I mean, they've got some big-time decisions to make, Rupper. Where do you see them prioritizing things?
The first 2 guys on the list, Meier and Brett, I think they will get them both signed. I don't think you make that move without Timo Meier knowing that you're going to be able to extend them. So, but they've got some wiggle room with cap space, and then potentially players that they might not. They probably already realized they're going to have to let go. I think even on the back end too, anytime you're taking that next step and you're going to be a contender, which this team is looking to take that next step next year, you need entry-level contracts on your roster, and you need them to perform. I think that they have the potential with, clearly, Luke Hughes on the back end. And then whether it's Nemec or if it's one of these other young defensemen, I mean, that's another area that they can get an entry level on the back end, save them some cash to go and fulfill the rest of their roster.
Absolutely. I mean, Nemec has been high in everybody's list of he's the next guy to come in, and obviously Luke Hughes has been a great talent, and he can kind of handle that spotlight. I thought he did great. I wanted him in earlier in the playoffs. And you never know where it's going to go. I mean, Damon Severson's been there a long time. He's a UFA. The money's going to have to work if they want to bring him back, but it looks like maybe he'd probably make more on the open market. I don't know. Can you bring Graves back? The RFAs, usually if you can, you keep them because there is some sort of ballpark you can keep them in. Yeah. And you never know. There's going to be change. There's always change, and that's the pros and cons of having a successful year with a number of guys having right. Big numbers. They got to go.
The one spot I think in net, unfortunately, I think maybe just because he hasn't stayed healthy, I think this might be the end of Mackenzie Blackwood's time there. So that's possibly something they do there. But then there's the other interesting ones, like Eric Holloway is one for me. He's UFA, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, he was awesome in these playoffs. Yeah. He found a home on a good line. So it's about making that money. You got to ask yourself as a player, is it better for me to prolong my career more and be in this spot than about the actual dollar amount right now? I think he needs to stay in Jersey.
He helped Hughes a lot, too, early in the year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, well, decision time is coming in Jersey.